Hello, and welcome to another Lunar Society podcast. At our recent Question Time panel event, Importance of Place and How Does Birmingham Measure Up, we spoke to our guest panel to gain an insight into what they hope to get out of the evening's discussion. In the following clip, you will hear from Deborah Cadman, OBE Chief Executive of the West Midlands Combined Authority, Alan Chatham, CEO of Chatham Birmingham Investments Limited, Immy Kaur, entrepreneur and co-founder of Impact Hub Birmingham, Waheed Nazir, Birmingham City Council's Corporate Director for Economy, and finally Labour Councillor Lisa Trickett. The following is introduced by Vakas Farouk, Strategic Advisor at Taylor Grange Developments.
I'm Vakas Farouk, Strategic Advisor at Taylor Grange Developments. Taylor Grange Developments are a small property company based in Birmingham, principally involved in residential development and regeneration, particularly in the city centre, but also outside Birmingham, in Greater Birmingham, in places like Wolverhampton and the Black Country. Can we really create a great place? I think so. I think developers nowadays are increasingly focused on creating great places to distinguish themselves, if anything, from a busy pack. What makes a really great place? I think we have to start from a perspective of collaboration with local authorities. Developers, I believe, in isolation won't achieve the objectives that the local authority and other stakeholders have. A true collaboration between local authorities and developers will really make that a great place. What more can we do to make Birmingham attractive to all those that live here and visitors and to investors? That collaboration, let's go back to that collaboration between developers and local authorities to unlock viability, unlock difficult schemes. Intervention from local authorities is absolutely essential. Developers in isolation will find it difficult to do that. So my plea from Taylor Grange is to local authorities to work closely with developers to help unlock schemes, make great places that people can enjoy, both people who live in Birmingham, but also visitors and investors too.
I'm Alan Chatham. I've been involved in development around Birmingham since 1990 and Brindley Place, moving forward to the Mailbox, the Cube, Fort Dunlop and Post and Mail. And I think tonight's a really interesting opportunity to talk about place. And my view of Birmingham is that it's got some great components, but it misses the glue. It does really well, but with glue it would do even better. So in Birmingham it's please mind the gap. In terms of the glue, this all began in 1990 when Terry Farrell came to do the master plan for Brindley Place. He drew a map and it had really good facilities on it, like the ICC, the NIA, the Hyatt, there was the Novotel next door, but the bits between it didn't join up at all. And we saw Brindley Place as the opportunity to create really strong linkages and places, so Brindley Place became the glue.
My name's Waheed Nazir, Corporate Director for Economy in Birmingham City Council. So the question about what makes a great place. Well, if you look back at successful developments, great place making is clearly the obvious good urban design about making sure places are permeable, accessible and diverse. But actually it's also those that actually recognise and build on the cultural, social and economic identity of its locality. And then actually fundamentally deliver a place for people, because what we are, placemaking is about serving and delivering great places for local communities.
Hello, I'm Deborah Cadman, Chief Executive of the West Midlands Combined Authority, and I'm actually a Brummie, a very proud Brummie. So what makes for a great place? I think it's got to be a place that's in balance, and what I mean by that is that, I'm absolutely clear about this, and history tells us this, that you cannot have strong, vibrant, sustainable economies without strong, vibrant, sustainable communities. So for me, in the work that we're doing within the Combined Authority, we're working really hard to create that balance where we're building and influencing the physical landscape, but actually we're being really thoughtful and investing in the social capital and the social landscape as well, which is really important. And when people feel they have a stake and a role in the future, you find that people are happier and healthier and more proud to live in that particular place.
Hi, I'm Immy Kaur, one of the co-founders of Impact Hub Birmingham, and I think what could make Birmingham a great place for everyone who's here and everyone who wants to come here is to really understand what it means for every citizen in this city to have the democratic right to have a say on what happens in their place, have a say on how that happens, to be able to actively shape their places and grow them in the vision of a collective future that I've really seen in the work that we've done. I think that it needs a mixture of big and small. It needs investment from abroad, but it needs deep investment to be for the community and by the community. And so some of the things I'm interested in is community land trusts, what happens with civic infrastructure in the future. And I think that when we invest in that deeply, we've got a brilliant, incredible, diverse population who will bring their assets and their skills and talents to the table to make this one of the best places in the world.
Lisa Trickett. I'm a local councillor for Kings Heath and Bramwood and a trustee of Chamberlain Highbury Trust. Birmingham, fantastic city, fantastic place. And what we have to remember is that what makes a great place is the people. It's people who shape space to make place, and it's the Brummies through the ages who've actually brought their industry, their innovation and their imagination to shape a city that truly was part of our industrial revolution and now actually has to be part of developing that future state that we need. A society, a city that can address climate change, that can promote social justice, that can actually deal with some of the inherent fears that we're seeing in our communities today. There is huge opportunity. What we need to do is find the way forward and find the future, and I hope tonight's event will contribute to that.
I'm Michael Lyons. I'm Vice Chairman of the Lunar Society, and I chaired tonight's debate at Highbury Hall about the importance of place and how Birmingham measures up as a place. We had a great turnout and a very strong panel. Some of the strands that I would draw from the debate, one, the importance of leadership, but not just the leadership of a few powerful people, but the importance of encouraging more types of leadership. One of the things that was very rich in the discussion was the recognition about all sorts of community activities led by people in communities, all adding to the richness of Birmingham and what it has to offer. We were clear about the fact that place making, trying to improve a place so it's more attractive for people to live in and to invest in, to visit, isn't just about physical structures. It's not just about the infrastructure and the public spaces and the buildings. It's also about the types of services. We might call that the software of a city, but it's also about questions of identity, inclusion, and things like that, and how different histories. I mean, there was a very interesting question about the legacy of empire and how we're going to deal with that when it comes to the Commonwealth Games. So, for me, placemaking is about all of those things brought together, and I thought the discussion tonight was very rich in reflecting that. There was a very strong strand running through about what some, I think, are increasingly talking about, the climate crisis that we've for many years talked about, the impending problems of global warming, actually what we're facing at the moment. And Birmingham is a city with very poor air quality and is under very strong imperative to change that and change it very quickly. And so there was quite a good debate tonight, with different parts of the evening's discussion about, for instance, the importance of natural capital, the green spaces of the city, the continuing need to deal with car-borne traffic, to get the right balance between people who live outside of Birmingham and commute in and the residents of the areas they travel through. Tonight was a great Lunar Society event, because what the Lunar Society is here to do is to encourage good-tempered debate, but it's also interested in action to make life in this city better, better quality of life in this city better, and also we're not shy about confronting controversy. And there was a good degree of controversy as well as good-tempered debate tonight.
If you enjoyed this podcast and are interested in joining the Lunar Society, then please visit our website www.lunarsociety.org.uk, or alternatively email us at info@lunarsociety.org.uk. You can also call us on 01564 821582.